Today I'm going to be breaking down the top 3 easiest strategies you could use here at Townhall 15 to 3-star any base. So Townhall 15 is a great town hall for experimenting with lots of different strategies, but sometimes when you're just a little bit pressed for time, you want something that is really easy, but also really effective. Something that's going to be able to crush bases that doesn't use too much brain power. And that is why in today's video, I've got 3 perfect armies that you guys can use for exactly that. So of course, as always, the links to all 3 of today's armies are down in the description below if you want to pick them up. While you're down there, feel free to subscribe to us here at the Barracks. But let's jump straight into this one. The first army we're going to be looking at is of course Root Riders and Valkyries. This has predominantly been one of the strongest strategies at Townhall 15 for quite a while now, and even though the Root Riders have been nerfed, you're still going to be able to crush bases. So let's jump in and break this one down. First things first, we're going to come in with a giant arrow. Now the giant arrow is a really fantastic equipment even here at Townhall 15. Typically the lower town halls it's unbelievably effective, but it's still super strong because here we can use it to create a really good funnel and we can get some pretty nice damage through the core of the base. And if there's any invisibility towers, you can also get lots of damage done to them and activate them early. So we're going to kick things off here with a little bit of a funnel. That is going to be the queen from one of these corners. Typically we're going to come in from a corner section with our funnel, and then the corner on the other side it will be over here. We will funnel that in just a little second here. But what you guys can see, typically you're going to want to funnel first and then come in with those Root Riders and Valkyries, because sometimes, like you can see here, those Valkyries do have a tendency to walk around the outside of the base, which isn't exactly what we're looking for. But regardless, that queen, it does her job at the start. Look at all the work she managed to do. The job of the siege barracks over here on this right hand side is to tidy up and funnel all of these buildings over here. This is going to leave a path for your Root Riders and your Valkyries. Now remember, typically the Root Riders are going to open up all of these wall sections, so you might be asking, why do we have a jump spell in this composition? Well, that is because if the Root Riders do tend to die out towards the back end, you might need that jump spell sub for some of your remaining troops, so it's always definitely helpful to bring it. You can also bring the Earthquake Boots on the Barbarian King. It's also a really strong option. That means you could change the jump spell for something else, but that is personal preference. For me, the jump spell definitely going to be working well in this one. So Rage Spell coming in right there, going to be freezing up things as we make progress into the core of the base. We do have that Grand Warden ability as well. We're saving it for as long as possible because we have the double tome, the Eternal Tome of course to make our troops invisible, and the Healing Tome to bring them all back up as we progress through into that really heavy core section with the Inferno Towers, with the scatter shots, with the Town Hall itself. So of course we want to make sure we are got that healing effect from the Grand Warden as we progress through. The Royal Champion's going to be coming in alongside our funneling troops over on this right hand side of the base. Typically you're going to want her to bring her in when you start to notice those troops are struggling to create that funnel, because you do want to keep the majority of your main push in the core of the base. Multi-target Inferno going to go down here towards the back end of this one. The P.E.K.K.A.s and the Wizards are actually still going really strong around the outside of this base from the original siege barracks. But you guys can see this strategy really doesn't take too much effort. The main thing you're going to want to do is just make sure you create enough of a funnel that your troops are going to go into the core of the base. Use that Grand Warden ability when you get under some serious heavy fire, and you're going to be bringing in plenty of 3 stars just like this one. So here is that second army composition we are going to be jumping in to take a look at. It is of course those Electro Titans. Again, a really viable strategy here at Townhall 15, so we'll jump in and break this one down. On this particular example, we're going to be coming in with that Grand Warden. He's going to be coming in with the Eternal Tome and the Rage Gem on him. Of course, if you're ever coming in with a Grand Warden walk, the Rage Gem is a really good option. Now, Electro Titans are very prone to single target Infernos as well as the Monolith. So what we're going to be doing here, as you guys can see, we're just going to clear the Monolith itself. We're going to be bringing in those lightning spells and the earthquake spell to completely clear the Monolith and any other buildings we can possibly snag. Here we were able to pick up a spell tower by the looks of things, and a builder hut I think. But we definitely got some very nice value there taking out the Monolith, and it avoids probably the heaviest defense here at Townhall 15. Once you've created enough of a funnel, you guys can see we only let that Grand Warden do his thing for a little bit of time, but he was able to create that funnel. We're then going to bring in those Electro Titans. Their job here is to push right into the core of the base and to wreak some absolute havoc. Royal Champion is going to be used again pretty much just to create that funnel. We're actually funneling again pretty late on in this base, but sometimes starting that late funnel is actually going to be really effective because our troops in the core of the base can actually tank for the troops around the outside of the base, if that makes sense. But the Royal Champion going to be coming in. I would definitely recommend the Electro Boots if you have them. They work absolutely fantastically, as you can imagine, with the Electro Titans. That synergy works perfectly. The Royal Champion is able to tidy up any skeletons really easily as well, but she is going to push around the outside of this one, and in this particular example she's got the Hog Puppet as well as the Haste Vial. Valkyries are going to be the choice of clan castle troops coming out of that siege barracks, just helping to clear some of these buildings around the outside of the base, again prioritizing keeping those Electro Titans in the core. Queen still with her ability in hand as well. She has the invisibility vial as well as the healer puppet, but this one you guys can see very, very strong. This is the similar strategy to what you would also use when it comes to super witches, super bowlers, any sort of smash attacks where you're starting with that Grand Warden walk. You're going to tend to approach them the same, but for me, those Electro Titans with that aura around them, it helps to clear out the clan castle troops super quickly. Skeletons don't stand a chance. Enemy heroes get taken down super fast as well, and overall it's an incredibly strong strategy. We actually swagged a couple of abilities there, and yeah, we definitely probably could have swagged even more. So here is the third strategy we're going to be jumping in to take a look at, and again it's bringing back those Root Riders, but rather than those Valkyries we have Witches. Witches are definitely one of my favourite troops here in Clash of Clans, and they work super well alongside those Root Riders. But before we jump in to break this one down, I would love it if you guys could go ahead and subscribe to us here at the Barracks. We are pushing for that 500 subscriber mark, and it would be awesome if you guys could help us on our journey. But let's go ahead and break this one down for you. So pretty much the exact same as previously. Funnel. That's what we're going to be doing to kick things off here. We've got the siege barracks on one side, we've got the queen and a couple of troops on the other, one being a Root Rider and then 2 witches. We're then bringing the rest of our troops right up into the core of the base. Again, we're going to be seeing the double tome on the Grand Warden. The king's going to be coming in with the Giant Gauntlet and Rage Vial. We have, of course, same equipment on the queen and same equipment on the Royal Champion. You guys can see though, already perfect funnel setup. We've cleared this section, we've cleared this section, and now we can push right into the core of the base. Now, typically in this, you're going to need some sort of method of funneling as you progress through into the core, especially when it's these style of bases. Yes, you can funnel fairly easily at the start, but your queen will die off and your siege barracks troops will die off as well. So that is exactly why we are bringing the overgrowth spell. When you notice your troops are going to have a tendency to walk around one section of the base, you can just have a look. Our queen's done a fantastic job funneling over to the right hand side, but our troops may have a tendency then to walk this direction. So if we use that overgrowth spell, it really helps to push them the way we want them to go. We of course did actually use that Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome earlier than we have in the previous attacks, but that's because, like I said, you want to use it in the heaviest DPS section of the base, not just the section that has the Town Hall in it. You want to be really smart when it comes to your deployment, and that's definitely what we did here. Now don't worry about those defenses here, we will deal with them with the Royal Champion. That's exactly why we were holding on to her. She's going to come here in the back end. We have the invisibility spell as well to potentially protect her through the single target inferno. Her ability can get popped off as well, and that will definitely help us to get through these last couple of defenses, as you guys can see. Unfortunately for us, most of our troops have died off by the time they get into that Town Hall, but we do still have the Queen ability. We of course have that Royal Champion smashing through defenses on the back end with the help of that Hog Rider puppet, but we still have the invisibility spell. Not that we even need it, and this one is going to be another very easy 3-star here at Town Hall 15. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, let me know down in the comments if you've got a specific strategy you would like for me to check out and explain, because I'm always looking for more suggestions. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.